Hi, I'm Adrian Clarke, and I'd love to share with you some simple yet powerful tips to help you manage your finances effectively. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 10 powerful books that have changed how millions of people save, invest, and build true wealth, from self-made millionaires to everyday workers taking control of their financial futures. If you've ever felt like you're working hard but not getting ahead, if you've wondered how some people quietly build financial freedom while others stay stuck in debt, this is for you. Because sometimes, the smartest investment you can make is in what you choose to read next. Let's begin. Number 1. Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. This is the book that has changed the financial mindset of an entire generation. In Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki compares two father figures, his biological dad, whom he calls the poor dad, and the father of his childhood best friend, his rich dad. The two men have very different philosophies about money, work, and life. The poor dad believes in working hard, getting good grades, and finding a secure job. The rich dad teaches about building assets, understanding money, and making it work for you. Why should you read it? Because this book shifts the way you think about earning and spending. It teaches the difference between assets and liabilities, something school never taught most of us. Kiyosaki doesn't just preach theory. He encourages readers to invest in financial education, real estate, and small businesses. It's about building cash flow, not just collecting a paycheck. Practical takeaway? Start tracking your spending. Identify what in your life is an asset, something that puts money in your pocket, and what is a liability, something that takes money out. That clarity alone could change your financial direction. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to work less and earn more, this book will help you understand why, and how you can do the same. Number 2. The Millionaire Next Door, Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko. Forget flashy cars and designer clothes. The real millionaires in America are often the people you'd least expect. That's the core message in The Millionaire Next Door. Based on decades of research, this book analyzes the spending and saving habits of real-life millionaires. You'll be surprised to learn that most wealthy people live modestly, avoid debt, and quietly accumulate wealth over time. The authors introduce terms like UAWs, under-accumulators of wealth, and PAWs, prodigious accumulators of wealth, showing that income level doesn't determine wealth. Behavior does. Why is this book so powerful? Because it crushes the myth that you need to earn six figures to become wealthy. In fact, it shows that many people earning $200,000 a year live paycheck to paycheck, while others earning $60,000 retire with millions. Practical lesson. Live below your means. Track your net worth, not just your income, and resist lifestyle inflation as your earnings grow. This is especially relevant today, where social media pressures people to show off rather than build up. The quiet millionaire might not have an Instagram-worthy lifestyle, but they have what really matters: freedom. Number 3. The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel. You can be brilliant with numbers and still make terrible financial decisions. Why? Because money is emotional. That's the premise of The Psychology of Money. Morgan Housel explains that our financial behavior is driven more by personal experiences, biases, and habits than by logic or spreadsheets. He dives into how fear, greed, luck, and patience affect our decisions, often more than facts or data. Why read this book? Because financial success isn't just about knowledge. It's about behavior, and behavior is rooted in psychology. The book uses short, story-based chapters to explore timeless lessons, like why saving is more powerful than investing strategy, or why doing nothing in a volatile market is sometimes the smartest move. One key insight: compounding rewards long-term thinking. Even a modest investment of $200 per month, compounded over 30 years, can grow into hundreds of thousands of dollars. But most people give up too early. This book won't teach you how to pick stocks, but it will teach you how to think about money like a long-term investor. And that's even more valuable. Number 4. Your Money or Your Life, Vicki and Joe Dominguez. If you've ever felt trapped in the cycle of earning and spending, this book offers a way out. Your Money or Your Life challenges you to think of money not as a goal, but as a tool that trades for your life energy. What does that mean? It means that every dollar you spend costs you time. Time you worked. Time you'll never get back. This book walks you through a complete financial reset, tracking every dollar, understanding what enough looks like, and aligning your spending with your values. Why read it? Because it's one of the few books that connects personal finance with personal fulfillment. It helps you break the habit of unconscious spending and start making intentional choices. For example, it teaches you how to calculate your real hourly wage, not just your salary divided by hours, but factoring in commute time, stress, and expenses. That coffee might not seem expensive until you realize it took 15 minutes of your life to pay for it. This book is deeply practical for those pursuing financial independence or early retirement. And even if that's not your goal, it's a powerful reminder that you can live more on less, if you know what truly matters. Number 5. I Will Teach You to Be Rich, Ramit Sethi. Don't let the playful title fool you. This book is one of the most practical and actionable guides to personal finance for young adults and professionals. Ramit Sethi's I Will Teach You to Be Rich focuses on building a strong money system you can automate and trust. What sets this book apart is its tone. Funny, direct, and brutally honest, Ramit cuts through financial jargon and teaches readers how to optimize their bank accounts, invest through low-cost index funds, and use credit cards wisely. Why should you read this? Because it's not about frugality or penny pinching. It's about building a system that works in the background while you focus on life. One of the best takeaways is Ramit's conscious spending plan, where you cut costs mercilessly on things you don't care about, so you can spend guilt-free on things you love. Let's say you enjoy traveling. This book helps you structure your finances so you can automatically invest, save for retirement, and still fly to Italy without stress. It's ideal for millennials and General Z, but honestly, anyone who wants to finally get their financial life together can benefit from this book. Number 6. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Written in 1937, Think and Grow Rich has become one of the most influential personal finance and self-development books of all time. Don't be misled by the word rich. This book is not just about making money. It's about cultivating the mindset that drives success in all areas of life, including your finances. Napoleon Hill spent over 20 years interviewing some of the most successful businesspeople of his era, including Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and Andrew Carnegie. From those conversations, he distilled 13 principles that he believed were key to building wealth, from desire and faith to persistence and mastermind alliances. Why does this book still matter in today's world? Because mindset is everything. Before you can change your bank account, you often need to change your thoughts. Hill emphasizes the power of belief, clarity of purpose, and repeated visualization. These may sound abstract, but they're backed by modern psychology. Athletes visualize success, entrepreneurs set bold intentions, and millionaires write down their goals repeatedly. For example, Hill's definiteness of purpose principle teaches that vague goals like, I want to be rich, don't move you forward. But specific goals, I will save $10,000 by December 31st and invest it in index funds, create a roadmap for action. This book is best paired with practical financial tools, because its strength lies in mental preparation. If you struggle with procrastination, low confidence, or lack of direction, this book could be your first step, not just to wealth, but to long-term personal transformation. Number 7. The Intelligent Investor, Benjamin Graham. If there's one book that every serious investor needs to read at least once, it's The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, often called the father of value investing. Graham was the mentor of Warren Buffett, who has praised this book as by far the best book on investing ever written. But let's be clear, this is not light reading. It's dense, methodical, and unapologetically detailed. That's exactly why it's valuable. In a world full of hype and noise, Graham teaches you how to stay calm, rational, and disciplined with your money. The central principle of the book is the concept of value investing, buying stocks at a price lower than their intrinsic value. Instead of chasing trends or trying to time the market, Graham encourages investors to treat each stock purchase as if they're buying a piece of a real business. He introduces the idea of Mr. Market, a fictional character who offers to buy or sell stocks every day based on his mood. Graham says, don't follow Mr. Market's mood swings. Learn to evaluate opportunities independently and act with logic. Why read this book? Because it's timeless. In an era of crypto speculation and meme stocks, the intelligent investor is the voice of reason that helps you build real long-term wealth. A key takeaway? Focus on margin of safety. Whether you're buying a home, a business, or a stock, leave room for error. That one principle alone could save you from major financial mistakes. Number 8. The Barefoot Investor, Scott Pape. Scott Pape's The Barefoot Investor became a phenomenon in Australia, and for good reason. It's refreshingly simple, surprisingly actionable, and wildly effective, and though it was written for an Australian audience, the principles are just as relevant to readers in the US, Canada, or Europe. What makes this book stand out? It's not about high-level investing. It's about getting the basics right. Things like setting up the right bank accounts, budgeting with purpose, and building financial security. Pape introduces a simple, bucket system. One account for daily expenses, one for savings, and one for long-term wealth. He also gives readers what he calls date nights, practical financial check-ins to do with your partner. Why read it? Because most people don't struggle with financial theory. They struggle with financial habits. This book is like a financial fitness coach. It gets you into shape, step by step. One of Pape's most impactful tips is the fire extinguisher account. A stash of emergency cash that gives you breathing room when life hits hard. If your car breaks down or you lose your job, that account means you don't go into debt to survive. This is a great book for couples, families, and anyone who's ever felt overwhelmed by money management. It's also a fantastic gift for recent graduates or young adults starting out. Number 9. The Simple Path to Wealth, J.L. Collins. Imagine sitting down with a financially wise uncle who gently explains how to handle your money, and never once talks down to you. That's what The Simple Path to Wealth feels like. Originally written as a series of letters to his daughter, J.L. Collins created this book to explain how anyone, yes, anyone, can build wealth through smart, low-cost investing. The core message? Avoid debt, save aggressively, and invest in broad-based index funds like VT or similar European ETFs. That's it. No stock picking, no market timing, just steady, boring, powerful growth. Why should you trust him? Because Collins is speaking from decades of personal experience. He made money, he lost money, and then he figured out what really works. Simple investing with minimal fees, maximum consistency, and long-term thinking. This book is especially good for people who feel intimidated by Wall Street jargon. It's friendly, easy to follow, and highly actionable. N1. Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki's approach to building wealth. One that requires little time but lots of discipline. This book might become your financial Bible. Number 10. Dollars and Cents, Dan Ariely and Jeff Chrysler. Have you ever walked into a store for one item and walked out $100 lighter? You're not alone. In Dollars and Cents, behavioral economist Dan Ariely and comedian Jeff Chrysler explore why we make irrational financial choices and how to stop. This book blends psychology, humor, and economics to show how marketing, habits, and emotions influence our spending. From why we splurge on sale items to how we underestimate small recurring costs like subscriptions. The authors unpack the real science behind our money behavior. Why read it? Because it's not enough to know what to do. You also need to understand why you don't do it. This book gives you tools to outsmart yourself. A great example? The concept of mental accounting, our tendency to treat money differently depending on how we receive it. For instance, we might blow a $500 bonus on luxuries, but hesitate to spend $50 on car maintenance. In both cases, it's still your money. By the end of this book, you'll see the world of money more clearly, and that clarity leads to better choices, higher savings, and stronger financial habits. Conclusion. Read, act, transform. Wealth doesn't appear overnight. It grows, word by word, page by page, choice by choice. Each of these 10 books offers a window into a different part of the financial journey. Some focus on mindset, others give you a battle plan. All of them, if read and applied with intention, can help you build real, lasting wealth. So here's my challenge to you. Don't just nod along. Pick one book, just one. Read it, highlight it, apply what you learn. Then, pick the next. Because getting rich is not just about earning more. It's about learning more. And with the right books on your shelf, your financial future is in your hands. Managing money doesn't have to be overwhelming. It just takes the right mindset and a few solid habits. If you found value in today's content, please consider subscribing for more real practical advice that actually works. I'm Adrian Clarke, and I'll see you again soon.